Hey, well, welcome. It's Sunday, just a little after, it's about 5:38 on a Sunday here in Anchorage, Alaska. We had a beautiful day today. It's been very nice. Matter of fact, we saw sunny skies, temperatures in the low 40s. We're going to go over that. Also, we're really close to 10 feet of snowfall for the season. We are less than an inch away, and there's a possibility tomorrow we might hit that 10-foot mark, the all-time snow that we've seen for this time of year up to this date in this season. So let's go ahead and look at daylight and look at that. That's another milestone. We're at 10 hours. It's a normal day here now. 8:12 a.m. is what we're seeing. And 6:13 p.m. is when the sun will set today. 5 minutes and 43-second gain from yesterday. It's starting to feel a little like spring out there, and that's a really good thing. Want to go ahead and talk a little bit. We certainly enjoy when we do see these conditions where it's sunny, and we also, with it, see that daylight because it starts to melt the snow. We had 5.5 inches of snow yesterday, and I'm just walking over to get my remote that is required to change the screen. So we're looking at a chance of a little bit of snow tomorrow. I'll explain why. We've got a low pressure system effect. It's going to affect Bristol Bay, South Central, as well as other places. And right now, this is a look at downtown where we just finished the Fur Rendezvous sled dog races. Very exciting today. It was a lot of fun and a beautiful day for it. They have all sorts of activities for those that are out of state. We are in the middle of Fur Rendezvous. Originally, it was for the trappers to come in town and sell their furs, and they still do. But it's become a lot more than that. We have fat bike races and outhouse races and all sorts of stuff in the snow that's pretty fun. A snowshoe softball tournament. And we just finished the Iron Dog. That just ended today. That is the equivalent of basically the iron mechanical version of our sled dog race coming up, which of course everyone's familiar with, the Iditarod. Hey, let's go ahead and see what our temperatures are right now. We're at 23 degrees. The winds are light northwest at 5 miles per hour. And that is a look at our mountains, Chugach Mountain Range. With 24 our high today, 8 our low, normally 29 and 16. Hey, St. Paul, nice to have you on. Martha, good to see you pop up there. Hey, let me know where you're from, and when you join us on Facebook, let me know where you're from. I know we get some of the same usual suspects and same viewers, and we love it here, and I love seeing all of you joining me on this beautiful Sunday. Hey, our record was 46 set back in 1978, and our low minus 15 set back in 1971. Month to date, yep, 13.8 inches of snow. What do we got? Here is what I was talking about, that snow total, and we are now at 119.1 inches of snow. 120 would be 10 feet of snow for this season. Last year, this time we were at 90.4 inches, and normally 61. But I think the norms of yesterday are changing rapidly as seasons continue to progress with everything going on in the planet. 14.1 inches of snow for this period for our February. And just to let you know, yesterday 5.5 inches of snow was a record for the day. We broke a 1990 record of 3.5 inches. And love to see those dogs running. What can we expect tonight here in Anchorage? 5 to 10 degrees are going to be a little low with patchy freeze and fog and otherwise clear conditions. Northeast winds will be at 5 miles per hour. Hey, Martha, tell me what your weather's like in St. Paul. I know you're going to get a lot of wind tomorrow, so I just want to know what it's like today, if you can go ahead and put that. Here's what's going on right now. We're seeing Anchorage at 23. Sunny skies. Bethel's coming in at 7 in Nome with a little bit of cloudiness. Cloudy also on Kotzebue and 3. We're seeing some very windy conditions out in the Aleutians with Cold Bay coming in at 35 and also Dutch Harbor coming in at 37. And a little bit of cloudiness in Juneau with 30. But tomorrow's going to be a really nice day for them. The 24-hour change, I like to put this up because I had mentioned that the trend will be colder conditions for us. From yesterday to today, we've seen a cold trend as cool Arctic air is moving in We're 3 degrees cooler in Anchorage than we were yesterday, 12 degrees cooler in Fairbanks than yesterday, 16 degrees cooler in McGrath than yesterday, and even down in Ketchikan, it's been rather chilly. The reason it's warm out in the Aleutian chain is because the low pressure system is bringing up a little bit of warm air just behind that front, and there's that low pressure system we were talking about, and that's going to move in. Notice by Monday it'll start to go through Bristol Bay where there's a winter weather advisory. Then it's going to go through the Kenai Peninsula, which is just below the word Anchorage. That's the Kenai Peninsula, and it's just below Anchorage. And that will move through as we get into Monday afternoon. That's why we have a winter weather advisory through that. And we're also going to see that push through and provide some moisture as we get into Tuesday. As you can see, it hits the southeast panhandle. They're looking at maybe 6 to 9 to 10 inches as that front associated with that low pressure system really hits it with a punch along the southeast panhandle. Lots of moisture associated with this low pressure system. But notice all the H's, those are high pressure, and that's what's keeping things relatively dry and mundane throughout much of the rest of the state, but pushing those lows past us in the south central area and down in the southeast, and of course Bristol Bay usually gets the effect of it too. There's a one right off to the screen on the left that'll be the next weather producer as we get into the latter part of the week. And there you can see it start to move in. As we get into Wednesday, it starts to move up near Russia, just off the Kamchatka Peninsula, and it will move into the Bristol Bay area. So, hey Martha, she says St. Paul Island is wet snow and blowing snow, and tomorrow going to be about the same thing. So, yes, I know. It's never been to St. Paul, but would love to go out there in the summer, that is. So, hey, we're looking at a winter weather advisory again for Bristol Bay. A winter storm watch down in the part of the southeast panhandle, Juneau on down, and then just some wind chill advisories for Nome as it's pretty windy. It doesn't take much. For us in the Anchorage area, we're looking at winter weather advisory for the eastern Kenai, also Prince William Sound. That starts tomorrow too. Goes into Tuesday, starts at noon tomorrow. So that's why I'm saying I think we're going to see a little bit of snow in the afternoon tomorrow here in Anchorage, and it could be all we need's an inch, and we're just a little less than an inch, and we've broken the 10-foot amount of snowfall for this season. Winter storm watch that goes into effect Tuesday for much of the southeast panhandle. What about Soldotna? We'll talk about that, Joe. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to go over the forecast here. It's going to be snowing in Soldotna tomorrow and a little bit windy, and I'll have that forecast in just a minute. So for the southeast panhandle, as I mentioned, a winter storm watch, which will probably turn into a warning. That's going to start on Tuesday and go through Tuesday. But tomorrow, a nice sunny day for them, mild conditions, and not too much in the way of wind except up in Yakutat, where they'll start to feel the effects of this low pressure system. It's going to be clouds and sun for the interior sections. And we're looking at temperatures right around 11 for Fairbanks, -7 for Fort Yukon. Tonight, be down about -38 for Fort Yukon, so it's going to be a little cold. So when are we going to get above freezing for Palmer? Peggy asked that question. Another couple weeks, I think we're really going to start to see the temperatures warm up. We've still got a little bit of winter left, but as we get into March, then things will start to warm up. And with that sun, it's hard to fight it. We'll start to see the snow melt as well. I noticed that on the pavement today. I had to plow a little bit of snow, but boy, as soon as that sun hit it, it's starting to melt even in the 20s. So I think we got another couple weeks, and then we'll start to see temperatures back in the 30s for us, Peggy. So, hey, North Slope, freezing fog, that's what we're looking at. Otherwise, it's going to be some sunshine for you. -27 for Utiavik tonight, -30 for Dead Horse, and Anatuva Pass, -17. Again, a winter weather advisory midnight till 3 p.m. for the Kuskokwim Delta. Notice the winds tomorrow for Bethel will be gusting to about 21 or 25, but the temperature will be about 21. But with those gusts, it'll feel like right around 0. Gamble going to come in with a high of 2, windy conditions out there north, 20 to 30, and of course St. Paul's going to feel that same thing as we get into it, gusting to 40 for you out in St. Paul. So that's what we're looking at, gusting 50 in Adak, 50 in Unalaska, and Cold Bay at 35. That's why Bristol Bay, yep, 9 p.m. tonight to noon tomorrow winter weather advisory. Look for blowing snow in much of the region, including the Bering Sea, where St. Paul, it's going to be windy for you, Martha. So, Joe, hope I answered your question. Peggy, hey, if you're listening or watching, please let us know where you're from, especially if you're from out of state. Always like to know. And if you're from out of country, even better, let us know what's happening. So as we go a little closer into South Central, we are looking for the Kenai and the Kodiak. We're going to see some windy conditions with snow as we get into tomorrow afternoon. Again, this winter weather advisory is for noon tomorrow until Tuesday about 6 a.m. That's what we're looking at. And I think it's going to pack a punch with a little bit of snow all the way up into the valley. And speaking of Prince William Sound and Copper River Basin, there's those winds, Gaston and Whittier, and also in Cordova. We'll see Valdez coming in northeast 5 to 10 with 21 degrees, and Glen Allen going to be at 9. The valley, I think we'll see a little bit of snow in Wasilla, Palmer, perhaps a few flakes up until Keaton and Willow. You're just a little farther north than I think this storm will affect you. Most of the regions a little farther south will have it. North Slope, clear and cold, lots of left. Okay, that's good to know. You're looking at some freezing fog, Charles, tomorrow. And if it's not freezing fog, which is sometimes just patchy, you should see a little bit of sunshine break out there. As we go ahead into Anchorage, I think we're going to see some snow in Anchorage, but certainly in Girdwood. It's going to spill over from Prince William Sound. Looking at 24 as the high with those east winds about 15 to 25 miles an hour. So, hey, before we go to the 7-day forecast, I do have a Forgit factoid. We did it last night. Hopefully you can get the answer to this Forgit factoid. We've been doing these for quite some time. Here it is. What percentage of Iceland is above the Arctic Circle? What percentage? 69%, 46%, 21%, or less than 1%? What percentage of Iceland is above the Arctic Circle? Go ahead. Try to guess and see. I got D. Joe says it's less than 1%. Okay, Joe, appreciate that. We did this last night on the air, and I'm sharing it with some of the folks who might have missed the show last night. We'll have one tonight, too, at 10, so please join us. Oh, Joe's going to put $50,000 bet that it's 1%. So, yeah, okay, Joe's pretty confident. Tyler's got B. Thanks, Tyler, for chiming in. He thinks it's 46%. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate that. We're looking for other folks. Join us, please. Give us. Charles says C. Joe D. Charles is going with 21%. Yep, we're talking about Iceland, and I'll show you where Iceland is. It's just near Greenland. Boy, it gets a little bit of a bad rap because there's not a lot of ice in Iceland versus Greenland, where a majority of Greenland is ice and also compacted snow, glacier ice. I did a glacier survey years ago with the Coast Guard for the International Ice Patrol back in the early 80s. So, hey, Kimberly's saying less than 1%. Thank Kimberly. Jamie's coming in with also less than 1%. It's D, says Joe. He's confident with $50,000 worth of confidence. C, Marfa. Evik says it's D, less than 1%. Let's see if we got anybody else. I'll give the answer in just a minute. So Tyler says I'm wrong again. Well, we'll see what the answer is in just a minute. So if you haven't been to Anchorage, we'd love for you to come up here. It's a beautiful place. And right now we got lots of activities for Rendezvous all this week and into next week. And then we've got the Iditarod coming up. So that'll be fun. We like this time because it kind of rings in spring. Most of us have a tradition of leaving our lights on our house. And we turn them off when the last musher comes in. That's called the red lantern. Last musher of the Iditarod, then the lights go out and we start getting ready for boat season. So, hey, any more guesses? Here we go. 69% says Shirley. Thank you for chiming in. Jeff going with D. Evik again going with D. And I'm going to give the answer here in just a minute. And then we'll do the 7-day forecast. All right, any more guesses out there? Hey, let me know where you're from, especially if you're from out of state or out of country. Love to know that you're joining us. We love having people from all over the world listen to us. Let's go for the money. Joe's going to say he's betting 50,000 on D. So we'll see if you're right, Joe. And here we go. We're going to give the answer now. Last call. See if anyone wants to respond. There's a little bit of a delay here. So sometimes your answer will be after I give the answer. So Cordova. Nice to have you, Kimberly from Cordova. Here we go. The answer is, yep, Joe. Won your $50,000. It is D, less than 1%, and it's really less than 1%. Grimsey Island is the only thing that's above the Arctic Circle, and it's only 2 square miles. Iceland is 36,769 square miles, so we're talking a minute percentage of Grimsey Island. And it's surely nice to have you from Seward. I want to show you where Grimsey Island is. So we're in Anchorage. We're going to go ahead and zoom over here, go to the Atlantic, up in the North Atlantic. Reykjavik is the capital of Iceland. I've not been to Reykjavik, but I certainly want to go and see Iceland. It's beautiful. Been to Greenland, as I mentioned, and Greenland's that big white-capped mass right where Iceland, and as we zoom in on Iceland, you notice it's just kind of this little bit of a country, and as you go north of the mainland, right there is Grimsey Island. It is the only part that is above the Arctic Circle. I found that fascinating and actually got that from a friend at the gym. Said, hey, did you know? And I said, I'm going to use that as a factoid. Hey, I'll take a factoid and use it. And he goes, yeah, go ahead, but check my work. So I did, and we do have a little bit of Iceland that's above the Arctic Circle, and that's it. Hey, let's go ahead and see what we have for the rest of today. And we are looking at, again, temperatures that will get colder, not warmer. Hey, Jeff, Mesa, Arizona. I love Arizona. 22 tomorrow, chance of snow in the afternoon. We're going to see 18 tomorrow night. Then a relatively clear period with temperatures from the 20s getting down to single digits by Friday, and nighttime lows getting below 0. That's what we're going to see. For Saturday and Sunday, looking at clouds, might be another system moving in as temperatures will get warmer as we always get those storms and their associated fronts that brings up that warm, moist air from the Pacific. So we might break our 10-foot mark tomorrow, but we will have to wait and see about that. So, hey, appreciate it, Joe. Thanks. Hey, with that, I want to say have a great week. Get out and enjoy the sunshine, especially in Alaska. We're just loving the fact we're getting almost 6 minutes more a day. Makes us really get excited about spring and about the summer. And until then, hope you have a great day. Be kind to yourself. Do something nice for yourself this week. Do something nice for others. I always try to do a good deed for the day. I did my neighbors' driveways before I came to work. Did mine first and then did theirs, and they appreciated that and made me feel good about it. So be kind to each other, be kind to yourself. And with that, have a great week.